Doesn't it seem like everyone and their mother is starting either a new dropshipping store or someone's trying to teach you how to do print on demand? The Shopify market and dropshipping has become very, very saturated. So what leverage do you have to go up against these other people who may have had years of experience dropshipping and you're new to this and you're trying to figure it all out? Or maybe you've had some success with dropshipping, but you're looking for another way to generate income. Well, the smartest entrepreneurs are leveraging AI and helping Shopify-based businesses succeed in e-commerce. And today we're going to dive into 5 business model ideas that you can take today and implement. And one of them is fully leveraging AI, where it's almost completely automated. Now, the first thing when it comes to dropshipping, why is this such a big problem? There are 24 million e-commerce sites that launched in just 2024 alone. Everyone's seen it, everyone's tried it, everyone's done it. What's going to make you unique and stand out? Well, that's where the shift towards AI and service-based businesses and helping e-commerce companies grow is an avenue that is worth exploring. And that's what we're going to look at today. And this is where you can create reoccurring revenue. There's some ideas here and some models in this video that you've probably heard nowhere else before, because some of them were conceptualized through my experience building and running a successful e-commerce company. We've done multiple 7 figures per year, and we've done just over 10 million in sales. So we figured out some of the biggest problems when it comes to e-commerce. Now, AI can literally do the work for you. And a lot of e-commerce business owners are so stuck in the day-to-day fulfillment, they're probably not thinking about AI, and they're probably not super focused on that aspect. So one, there's higher profit margins for you because guess what? You don't have to buy inventory, but you still get to use your experience and your expertise to scale your business. So let's first jump into the first business model. I'm excited for you guys to see what business model number 4 is. Now, the first model that I want to talk about is a CRO agency, okay, or a CRO consultant. Now, what a CRO agency is it stands for conversion rate optimization. And one of the biggest problems that I've seen in the industry, and being in the industry since 2015, is too many e-commerce owners don't focus enough on ways to improve how well their website can convert. So let's look at a real example here. If you have a store that's doing 100K per month and it currently has a 2% conversion rate, and you can improve it and get it to 3%, right? You will increase their monthly sales by $50,000. That's crazy, right? And so the skill of learning how to do conversion rate optimization and coming in for a business and helping them improve their conversion rate is so critical to their success as a brand. And so this could open up so many opportunities for you to not only come in and help them with that, but also help you to learn what other brands are doing and how their operation is set up. And so if you do want to end up starting your own brand or doing your own product, this is the way that you learn the skill sets in order to become the type of person that can start a brand successfully, right? Against all these competitors. And so basically you want to take your sales from where they are now with a 1.39% conversion rate as an example to $383,000 at a 2.56 conversion rate. This is just an example, okay? So basically you're going to completely transform their store's conversion rate, generate them more revenue, make them more profitable. Now, what you can do is you can use a tool to help you do this, and I'm going to point you in the right direction here, is using an app called One-Click Upsell or Aftersell, which is an app that allows you to basically sell additional products at the end of your checkout. So once people have purchased a product, there'll be either a product they can add, whether that's buy 2 or 3 of the same product that they just ordered at a huge discount. Maybe there's a downsell to a cheaper product like a keychain or something that goes with the main product. So basically what you can do is you can approach brands, you can offer them a way to improve their conversion rate, which would then in turn show them how much more revenue that would generate based on their current numbers. And you can come in and implement things to help them grow as a company. This particular kind of business is a little bit of a medium level skill that you would have to have in order to work with this. All you have to do is pick a very few things that you want to implement for a brand, come in and implement those things because they're not focusing on those things, and you will in turn lift their revenue while you're able to be compensated. Now, the ways you can be compensated is you could have a retainer that could be 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, plus a percentage of profit of additional revenue that you generate them. So let's say their baseline is $100,000 a month, and you add 10% additional revenue based on the changes that you make that you can actually track, then you can make an extra percentage of that $10,000 extra. If you increase or improve their conversion rate by 10%, you could take a portion of that. So this is going to be the first business model, something that you may have already heard about, may have already thought about, but this is model one. Now, model two, this is where it gets interesting, okay? Business model number two is AI commerce consulting. And AI commerce consulting is identifying ways that you can leverage AI and use systems to replace or help lower costs for the e-commerce company. This is becoming a lot more of a need, I think, in the e-commerce industry. And so essentially what your goal would be is to identify problems in the company that you can solve, and more so find ways that you can take processes or activities that happen within the e-commerce company and replace them with AI. So for example, there is a tool and an app called Adify, which actually automates customer service. Now, as we know, AI is still in development. It's not always perfect, but this is just one example where you can leverage AI to communicate with the customers of the business or the potential customers and actually use a knowledge base like an FAQ or information about the brand to answer questions and have real conversations with potential customers to help lead them to the sale. Now, yes, there will still be some elements of human interaction that need to happen, but by understanding and utilizing certain use cases of AI, you can come in and help those businesses to be more efficient. And then by doing so, you can take a project fee or a consulting fee to help improve the business's structure, improve the business's profitability and scalability. And honestly, the simplicity as well, because I see too many times that one of the biggest problems in e-commerce that I've noticed is e-commerce businesses fail because their overhead or baseline revenue or baseline expenses to cover and help support the business's growth from the employees is too high for the business. So all you have to do is identify certain elements that can be improved with AI, build an offer around that specific solution using AI. And this is where you'll do your own research to identify what things can be automated with e-commerce. I just gave you one example is customer service. One can actually be updating ads, scaling or scaling back ads, uploading new creative. There's actually automations for this where you can actually manage an ad account using AI as well. And it's getting a lot better over the last 12 months. And so you just have to identify use cases within this, but there is a massive need for this. And I promise you, if you reached out to some of these e-commerce owners and you said, hey, I am going to help you improve your systems and streamline your operations by actually removing some of your expenses using AI, they will be hooked because they'll be super interested to hear what you have to say and how you can help them. Huge need right now in the market. Business model number three is AI services or products. And these AI services and products are tailored towards e-commerce companies. And I want to give you some examples here of some use cases that you can take to e-commerce brand owners and help them implement, because this is an offer that you can present that's going to be unique and different, and therefore get a higher response rate from a lot of these brand owners who are looking to grow. And so one of the things that you can do is, there's platforms like Bubble. There's also platforms like N8N that allow you to do a low code or no code building an app or building an automation or a process that can help replace employees, help replace different processes, or ultimately create a something that can provide value to a business owner in the form of making things more efficient, lowering costs, or just streamlining the whole business in general. So one thing could be building an app to help business owners to be more profitable. One of them could be selling something like AI prompt packs, which AI prompt packs, an example of this would be, a lot of people are utilizing ChatGPT and, Claude.ai, for example, to help them develop ad copy, to help them develop optimized product listings. And you could create prompts that are specifically engineered to be optimized for SEO, right? If it's a product listing, or create really in-depth ad scripts that are based on fundamental advertising principles that they could utilize inside of their company instead of having to go out and hire an agency or hire a marketing director, right? They could use these frameworks in order to get the end result. And so really the creativity in this business model is insane. Like, you could take this any different way, but the most important thing with providing services and products to businesses using AI is to identify what things do e-commerce brand owners or business owners struggle with? What could I provide in terms of a service? And so that's where this would fall under. Now, N8N, for example, is a more advanced version of Zapier. And this will allow you to set up automations where, let's say you wanted to download data for your previous month's performance, right? And you wanted to analyze that. Well, you could have an automation set up where it'll go in, download the 30-day report, pull it into a spreadsheet, and then summarize specific sections to provide insights into what things went well, what things could be improved based on, benchmarks and based on other indicators as well. So like, that's just one example, but there's all sorts of automations. You could have a report sent to certain people in the company, an email that's automated that gets sent out every month based on last month's performance. The sky's the limit with your creativity on how you could utilize this. AI products or services that can help e-commerce businesses to grow and thrive is going to be a huge opportunity because of the AI revolution that we're going through right now. So put your mind on that, think about that, let it marinate, think of other creative ways that you could utilize this inside of an e-commerce company. Now, the way you would charge is either a project fee or one-time fee with ongoing management. So, think of it like managing a website, right? You kind of monitor and manage and make sure all the automations are running correctly, make sure that we're continuously keeping up with improvements or optimizations or updates, right? Those sorts of things could be an ongoing management fee, as well as the actual project where you put in the time to build the automation. And if it's an AI prompt pack, for example, you could sell it as like a flat fee. So you sell it for like $1,000 or $2,000 to get access to all of these AI frameworks, right? So again, this is just to help get your mind thinking and to also share from the other side of the coin the experience that I've had in e-commerce and what I notice as some of the opportunities that are up and coming. Model number 4 is an AI SMS marketing agency. Now, AI and SMS have been becoming a lot more popular over the last few years, and specifically conversational AI. And so imagine a world where, we talked about this a little bit earlier, where you could have a AI that's trained on your brand and have an FAQ platform that basically allows a AI to communicate with potential customers to help them close the deal. This is a really great way for bottom of funnel to capture revenue from visitors that are already being advertised to, that are already coming to the website, and basically squeeze as much revenue out for the business as possible. And a lot of e-commerce business owners are not utilizing SMS and even email correctly, where AI can be a huge part of providing a solution to that. So for AI SMS marketing, for example, right? You could charge anywhere between $500 to $3,000 a month to manage all of the flows and the campaigns and conversations for a brand. And so there's a tool that I've utilized within my own company and with some of the brands that we've worked with that really makes this super simple. And it's called TxtCart. So basically, you could come in, you could basically help increase revenue, send SMS just like you would in an abandoned cart flow for an email. You can use SMS to do the exact same thing. And you can actually have a cart recovery flow where this AI will communicate with potential customers and help close the deal as well. And so because it's a tool like this that you could utilize, it'd be really easy for you to come into a business and say, hey, I want to help you improve your SMS or your back-end revenue. I can come in and actually run all that for you and maximize the revenue of every customer, right? Because a lot of agents or a lot of businesses and e-commerce companies, they have agencies reach out to them all the time, right? But if you come in and say, hey, we're going to focus on your back-end revenue and maximizing that, you're not trying to come in and run their ads. You're not trying to come in and, improve their website, right? Like you're coming in to do something on the back end. So you could set them up on this particular platform and then actually charge a monthly fee to manage it. And you're generating them extra revenue while you're able to automate your service delivery and, get, let's say you got 10 clients paying you 2,000 a month, that's 20,000 a month, where you would just oversee and manage those campaigns. You could charge a monthly service fee to do this, or you could do a percentage of profit or revenue. So this is a great business model. A huge opportunity I've seen just implementing this particular software and app into our e-commerce brands we manage and we oversee, and it's been largely beneficial, even with very very little lift in terms of effort and time put into it. Now the last model number 5, I'm very excited to talk about this one too, because this is an e-commerce technical integrator. Now, one of the biggest problems that I've also seen in e-commerce is a really big lack of processes. This could also involve AI a little bit as well, but the technical side of integration for whether it's third-party marketplaces or setting things up to make the business run more smoothly, whether it's inventory systems or software. And I have found that having someone that can integrate more of the technical side of the business is a huge lack on a lot of small e-commerce companies, whether they're doing 6 to 7 figures a year, where this could be really helpful to help them grow their revenue. And so basically, as an e-commerce technical integrator, what you would come in and do is you could install certain software and apps to help them improve that. So, and also execute the work. So, for example, let's say you come in and you help e-commerce brands get started on third-party marketplaces like setting them up on Amazon and Etsy, and other third-party marketplaces where maybe they're not set up on there, but if you just set them up on there, they may get some sales that will come from other platforms. For example, when you're advertising on TikTok, typically you'll see a spillover of people that will go to Amazon to search for your brand and product, and you'll generate sales on Amazon without really doing anything on Amazon other than just putting your listings up. So you could basically set up and make sure their fulfillment is linked to whatever third-party marketplace and make sure their fulfillment is, fulfilling on the orders, and you can help them generate more sales that way. Or another example is syncing, right? Syncing orders across multiple platforms and making things easier, whether it's for apps or setting up systems for them or tracking better ways to track their profitability, right? Because that's something that e-commerce brands really struggle with. So a tool that you might use is Triplewell. They're getting a lot more into AI and using AI agents. This is a huge thing that's going to be really helpful for e-commerce brands. And you can actually go in and, pay for a subscription to have an AI agent, and then you get a brand and a client use the platform and then use the AI agents to actually help you help the brand. So it's like you're automating your consulting in a way because you're using real data inside of their ad accounts and their actual brand and giving them advice and instruction on how to utilize that and help them implement that. And then another one is, for example, like there's an app called Shopdance, for example, and basically it's a TikTok shop syncing integration. And there's a lot more than just syncing, but it allows you to basically sync all of your third-party marketplaces or your Shopify store with TikTok and make sure that all that syncing is moving smoothly. Because one thing that I've noticed is that with TikTok Shop specifically, and there's lots of different technical issues that happen in e-commerce company, is the syncing between two platforms. Sometimes orders don't flow through properly, and that can really hurt your review or your shop score, your ratings, right? So there's so many things that you could solve as a technical integrator for e-commerce that if you really, had a look at some of the technical issues that these brand owners face, I could tell you there's a whole laundry list of ways that you could solve problems. And a lot of times I feel like these technical problems for e-commerce owners are things that really are high pain point because they want the problem to be solved right now, right? Because it's a problem that comes up that they notice and they need to fix. So that's something that I would really recommend looking into as well is just being an e-commerce technical integrator. You could charge basically a monthly service fee plus maybe a percentage of revenue or profit based on what you're actually helping them with. And that would allow you to, provide the most value. And if it's tied to revenue or profit that you're fixing or you're helping with, then you could, take a percentage as well. So these are the 5 main business models that you can utilize today, leveraging AI to help provide more value to e-commerce brand owners and help you start generating revenue in the e-commerce industry. Now, comment below what your favorite business model was. The reason I wanted to share these is because I've been in the industry for a while, and these are things that I foresee as future opportunities for people to help build and grow e-commerce brands. And I see too many brands making a lot of these mistakes. Now, if you liked business model number 4, then make sure you go down below and check out your 14-day free trial. You have $1,000 of SMS credits. So you can basically pick up a brand, put this offer in front of them, 14-day free trial, $1,000 of free SMS credits. And every single time that we've implemented this for any brand using this platform, it has always generated a positive return in the first 14 days. So it's like a no-brainer. So it's a very, very good offer for you to bring to a brand and say, hey, let's implement this backend SMS AI system. It's been super, super effective, and we still use it to this day. So go ahead and check that out, and look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.